The banking sector is certainly a major segment in the world of economics. Further defining the financial services industry certainly focuses on asset management, insurance, venture capital, as well as private equity. Talking Point connects with Mr. Jeewantha, the Deputy General Manager of International Treasury and Investments of Bank of Ceylon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Could you share your insights when it comes to the evolving landscape of international banking, given your role as Deputy General Manager of International Treasury and Investments of Bank of Ceylon?
Yeah, now if you take Bank of Ceylon, we actually, the old wise, we are 84 years now. We have started in the year of 1939. So under my division, we have several departments, and this international division is one of them. So basically, it takes all the international affairs for the bank, and foreign currency, even other expatriate grievance, and everything is handled by under this international division. So since we are actually age of 84 years, we have been doing this foreign currency transaction and the international banking all these years. Now I can tell you all. Now in the year of 2022, so we had a very difficult year in the country, and after 2020 COVID and then the financial crisis, and 2022 April was the peak. So that we have announced our suspension of foreign debt. So at that time, the international banking was very much important. So generally, we are having the largest corresponding network in Sri Lankan bank. Any bank, compared to any bank, we are having the largest corresponding network, and we have a largest exchange houses compared to other banks in Sri Lanka. And the moreover, we are actually catering, and we are having the largest market share in terms of inward remittance. So all these come together. So we are having the very good international banking relationship with other counterparties, especially local and the foreign also. We know that there are some local banks also, foreign local banks also, and also offshore we are having the foreign banks also. Now all these times we have been dealing with them, and we have been borrowing from them, we have been lending to them. But in the year of 2022, after we announced the suspension of debt, foreign debt, so all these lines cut off. Basically everything was freezed. But due to the size of the balance sheet, due to the stability of the bank, due to the strength of the bank balance sheet, we were able to manage everything with lot of difficulties. We had a large amount of exposure to the foreign banks, and they were actually lending to us, and we had to honor them, we had to settle them, but with the greatest difficulties we had to manage. So still we are having the very good relationship with these foreign banks. So under my division, since we are having all these corresponding banks, all these foreign currency transaction, at the moment also we don't have any issue with them, dealing with them, and they are now willing to take giving loans to us also. So that shows how much we are confident and how much we are resilient to this crisis situation. And also I must tell you one thing. Now we are fully owned, but ownership is within the government. So we are 100% owned by the government at the moment. So even we had to face lot of difficulties in the year of especially 22. This crisis actually started from 2020 onwards. COVID, then the financial crisis. Actually 2019 also we had little difficulties due to this Easter Sunday attack, but we managed it. But the largest difficulty we had to face in 2022. With lot of difficulties, we had to do all these foreign currency transactions with the counterparties, international banks also. And I must tell you one thing, that even though we are having the 100% owned by the government of Sri Lanka, we are having the better foreign currency rating than the sovereign. So our foreign currency rating is higher than the sovereign. So it shows how much Bank of Ceylon is resilient in terms of foreign currency and the international banking. So the international banks still lending us, they are still dealing with us. So sometimes I can tell you one thing, during this crisis situation, even the private banks in Sri Lanka did not face many difficulties like us. Since we are a state bank also, we had to face many difficulties, but So they had a reliance, they had a trust on us, and we also relied on them, and we had a trust on them, and they helped us. Foreign banks especially helped us to come out of this situation, especially foreign currency earning wise. So the exporters and the people who are working abroad, the people who are going abroad and sending money to Sri Lanka, they send money to Sri Lanka through Bank of Ceylon significantly higher amount. So we survive based on that only. So still we are maintaining this very good relationship with international banking arena as a Bank of Ceylon, the number one bank in Sri Lanka.
Having joined the Bank of Ceylon in 2002 and now overseeing areas such as Treasury management and investment banking, what significant changes have you observed in the financial sector over the years?
Generally, if you take Treasury, so basically their main task is fund management. So if you take a bank, lending is their asset and the borrowing is their, the deposit is the liability. So the asset liability management is done by the Treasury especially. So the depositors are asking more rates for deposits, but the lenders, so basically the borrowers, asking the lower rate. So we'll have to balance this. So we need borrowers also, we need to lend for us to survive, and we need the funding also. So the major funding source is the deposits. If you are not sufficient enough having deposit, then we go for the borrowings. But Bank of Ceylon, we are having the largest balance sheet in Sri Lanka. We are having the largest deposit portfolio. We are having the largest lending portfolio. We have the largest market share in terms of inward remittances, and we are having a significant amount of market share in terms of for trade finance also. So since we are having the largest, we have a liability, we have accountability to maintain this largest name. So we have been doing it, and we are still number one in Sri Lankan banking sector. And now you know that when this crisis occurred, interest rate went up to 32 level, and the deposits we were taking at 28-29%, and the lending was at 30-32%, and nobody was there to borrow. So obviously borrowing at 30-32%, nobody can survive. So then, we never say we don't want any deposits. We'll have to accept it. We are a bank. Our main core business is taking deposit and the lending. So you have funds at high rates, but you don't have any deployment opportunity in terms of rupees. There are very much deficiencies with foreign currency. Forget about foreign currency, but rupee side also, we are having the largest negative liquidity in the banking sector also. But we manage pretty well. Now, if you can see, by end of this year, we'll be maintaining the number one position. So we had to face a lot of difficulty during the first quarter of this year, but we managed very well. So the entire BOC team contributed equally to manage this. So sometimes I can remember when the quarterly figures publish, we were the number 4 sometimes. Now we slowly and we steadily regain number 1 position. So I am pretty confident that towards the year end also we'll be having a very good significant profit figure to cater this bottom line, and also I'm 100% sure, I'm pretty sure that we will be maintaining this number 1 position in any terms. So fund management is the key, and we have done this, and everybody was equally contributed to manage this. Sometimes since we don't have any deployment opportunities to deploy whatever the funds we have, so we basically do nothing. But still we'll have to do something, so that we are actually now we are making any profitable, we are investing all these funds in a profitable way. But we had to face many difficulties. Now we have come out of all this situation. Now sometimes you can see the market liquidity is minus at the moment, but if you take Bank of Ceylon, we are having the positive or the plus liquidity in terms of rupees as well as the foreign currency. So we have managed it, and we will be managing equally well in the future as well.
As the head of Bank of Ceylon's primary dealer unit, you gained extensive experience. How has this background influenced your approach to a broader responsibility in the capacity of a Deputy General Manager, particularly in international banking?
Yeah, CEO of primary dealer, now we have I think 11 primary dealers at the moment, so we are one of them, and we are a bank. There are private organized private companies also, so we are having this primary dealer unit is integral part of the bank. So in the treasury, in the dealing room, we are having a separate section to handle these government securities. So generally, if you are a primary dealer, you can participate at the government security auctions, treasury bill and treasury bond auctions. So we have been doing this. So we are having the largest government security portfolio at the moment in the country, treasury bill and treasury bonds, and we are gaining out of that also. And being a CEO, even during this crisis situation, and many people were withdrawn by investing in government securities. But we had a confidence that, and also the central bank, our thank all should go to the central bank also and the government of Sri Lanka, especially the finance ministry, to exclude banking sector out of this domestic debt restructuring. So we are basically unharmful, and there is no any harm by investing in government securities. We are still maintaining this, and awareness of investing in government securities among the public. We are doing many things, and also now you know that when a foreigner wants to invest in government securities, they'll have to open IIA account. So they'll have to open IIA account. The fund money, the foreign currency should come through this IIA account. So since we are a bank and plus primary dealer, we can accommodate this transaction very easily.
Effortlessly.
Yes, effortlessly. And we can open IIA account for the foreigners, and we can ask them, this is your choice, then tell us what is your requirement. We can invest in the government securities on their request as per their requirements. So that we can do that. And also, now when the foreigner comes to a foreign bank, generally they come to foreign banks first rather than they coming to us.
That has been the general myth.
General myth. But when since the foreign banks are not primary dealers, some foreign banks also dealing with us. If they have investment investors money to invest in government security, they come to us, come to Bank of Ceylon and ask them to go to this auction on behalf of them. We do it, and it a very nominal, sometimes zero.
So that is a plus point for them.
That's a plus point for us. So then we can communicate with these foreign investments, and we can communicate with this foreign counterparty also by having this relationship. We actually enhance their relationship, and the requirement also for us to have from them also we have enhanced, and we have done this, and we have, I think, doing better. We are doing better. I think we can do it the better way in coming years also, since the country has gained stabilized kind of stability in the country in terms of everything. Especially the banking sector is now it's going at very smoothly. We don't see much problems, and NPA level also at a tolerable level, and we can see some huge profits compared to previous year. Now even this year is the crisis one, but you can see after the year end, after the accounts, the financial statement published of banks, they definitely earn the profit more than the previous. Even at a crisis, the banking sector is thriving well. I think entire sector is stabilized now. Everybody is doing well, and out of this, the Bank of Ceylon has the largest advantages to come out as number one position and to retain the number one position.
And extremely very stable.
Yes.
Balancing roles as a director in various institutions and a member of committees such as Central Bank's Domestic Financial Market Infrastructure Development Project. This requires a diverse of skill set. How do you manage these different responsibilities so effectively?
Yeah. The only thing, if you take this Bank of Ceylon role, it's a very hectic one. So you don't have time till 8 to 5 o'clock, so you have to work till night, and even during the crisis situation, I can recall, we were here till 10:30, so we didn't have funds to honor, and we'll have to do it. It's a very tough job. And even during this crisis situation, I had to participate at this also. And my passion is definitely when I get something, I have a pre-preparation. So basically I give my maximum output, maximum contribution to these boards. So sometimes some boards are actually nominated by the parent company. So I'll have to look after my bank's interest. So that I think I have been doing this, and I think I can perform this, protecting the parent interest in a better way in coming years also. And this particular member of this particular central bank initiated one, they want to have a development of the market, and even we had several discussion with the Central Bank of Sri Lanka with the foreign parties. I think the project has halted now, so the project is not going at the moment, but the committee is still there. But I think the government will do something. I don't know, Central Bank will do something. But at the moment, this project is not
it's been
going
halted at the
forward.
moment.
Yeah.
Right. In your role overseeing international aspects, how do you navigate challenges and capitalize on opportunities in the ever-changing landscape of international banking?
That's right. Now, we have largest international presence in any bank in Sri Lanka. We have a subsidiary, fully owned subsidiary in the UK, and we have another 2 branches in Maldives, and we have another branch in India, Chennai, and we have another branch in Seychelles. So we are having the largest international presence in any bank in Sri Lanka. So during this crisis situation, 2020, after we announced the suspension of foreign debt, so the foreign funds did not come to Sri Lanka. Not only Bank of Ceylon, other banks also didn't receive any foreign funds. But still, since we are having the international presence of these several countries, they helped us. Especially Bank of Ceylon UK. It was a branch. Now, due to the regulation, due to the regulatory requirement of PRA, we'll have to convert into a fully owned subsidiary. And also, I must recall the Malay branch. They helped us. They are having the largest dollar liquidity there, and they helped us. Especially these 2 branches, especially the Malay branch and the BOC UK subsidiary, they helped us giving all the funding the required amount of dollars. So we are very, very much comfortable since we are having the largest international presence. And also I must tell you, we are having the expectation in our corporate plan also incorporated to expand our international presence. We have identified several countries, and we have done the preliminary feasibility studies also, and we will be going a few more countries during basically in the year of 2024. Why we want to go to international, why we want to expand our international presence is, we know we have 26 banks here, and I think this market is very much saturated now. So everybody is fighting for a same thing. So rather than we fighting or having to compete, having the competition here, it's better to go abroad, better to go overseas, and I think we are in a better position to do overseas. So we have very good country managers there, and we are very much expertise, knowledgeable, talented people there to take up these challenges, and we have identified, as I told you, and we will be reaching this international presence in the 2020, at least 1 or 2 countries, and we are very much capable, and we are having the preliminary discussion. We have completed the preliminary discussion also. Only thing, we'll have to go to the next step, and we'll be having. And so the one thing is that we know since the Sri Lankan market is saturated, we want to go outside, and also during the crisis time, we got a largest amount of funding from these overseas branches, overseas subsidiaries. So then we think since we are resilient and we want to foresee whatever the possible negative impacts coming to negate, so that we will go for the international to basically to negate whatever the difficulties we foresee in coming years, so that we can actually eliminate whatever the negative impacts, whatever the things happening in the future. So
it's going to be a very promising and a very productive international based strategizing that's going to take
That's
place
right.
with the State
Yeah.
Bank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sri Lankan prominence in an international market as always as the State Bank. We were in discussion with Mr. Jeewantha, the Deputy General Manager of International Treasury and Investments of Bank of Ceylon. Thank you so much for connecting.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.